Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to our YouTube channel. Today's video is going to be the last video you are going to see of our pool because we are officially closing the pool for the season. I did a poll on Instagram recently where I asked you guys if you close your pool for the season, if you even know what that means. Most people didn't know what that meant, right?
Yeah, no, they either didn't know what it meant or no, they haven't closed a pool before.
Right. So majority of our following is based in the States. Even though we're based in Canada, we get a lot of American followers. So I guess a lot of you don't actually close your pool because you don't have winters like we do. So that's exactly what we're going to do today. Here is the pool. The last time you will see it for the season, we're dog sitting again. Don't mind Zoe. But it's getting to be, today is October
12th?
Today is October 14th. Okay, today's October 14th, so it's getting a little late in the season. A lot of people have closed their pools already.
Yeah, we're a little behind.
We're a little behind. We dragged it out because we were going to put the heater on and enjoy the season for longer, but the weather in Ontario has just been kind of crummy lately. But Handy Andy is going to walk us through the task of closing the pool because there's a bunch of different steps involved in it. Also, if you missed it, we finished this area around our pool. If you haven't tuned in for a little while, we added the stairs, we've got the swinging egg chairs, everything is finished. So we're just gonna clean it all up and put it all away for the winter now so that we'll be able to enjoy it next spring and summer.
The first step in closing your pool is making sure that the water is chemically balanced properly. Do this by using one of the test strips, but I would recommend actually taking a water sample to your pool store when you go to pick up your pool closing kit.
So our water is properly balanced. So what we're gonna do today is we're gonna brush all the walls. We're gonna make sure we get all the leaves out, and we're gonna give the pool a good vacuum to make sure it's really clean. And then we're gonna add our first chemical.
You wanna make sure you really brush the sides of your pool before closing to make sure that any loose debris get loosened up so that you can vacuum them away. If you have leaves and other contaminants in the water, it will promote algae growth, which makes your pool green when you go to open it in the spring, and it's a lot more work for you.
Pool has been swept with the brush. Now we're gonna use the net and scoop all of the leaves and dead bugs out the top. So normally you would close your pool before it gets to this point when all the leaves are falling off the trees, because as fast as we scoop the leaves out, the leaves fall back in. But for the sake of this video, we're gonna tell you that that would be the step. So, I mean, if you live in an area where there's a lot of trees around, maybe close your pool sooner than we are.
So the next step we're gonna do is we're gonna make sure we vacuum the bottom of the pool and all the walls really well to make sure there's no debris left in there.
So this is a two-person job because I have to stick the sucky thing in the sucky hole.
Precisely.
We have a robot vacuum that we run regularly just to keep any debris that falls to the bottom of the pool cleaned away. The one we have is linked in our Amazon storefront.
Oh, okay. It's still recording. Officially the last swim of the year because I dropped my phone in the pool. Back again. I have to put my phone in rice for a little bit because the audio is all messed up. But this video is turning out to be a great success.
Yeah, so the next step is to start draining the pool. We don't have a main drain at the bottom of our pool, so we're gonna have to use our vacuum hose with the stick to drain the water just below the jets so that we can drain the lines.
And we got Kyle here. Say hi, Kyle.
Hi. The multi-valve here where I can drain water out of the pool because it's a cartridge filter. There's no drain cycle or anything. So you want to make sure the valve's open. And the water starts coming out there. And then you want to close it to the filter so that the water is only coming out of the, leaving the pool, it's not recirculating.
I think it's important to note that pool closing will look different from location to location, and depending on what type of pool you have, may that be in-ground, above ground, chlorine, salt water. We drain our water just below the jets and then take the return jets out prior to blowing all the excess water out of the lines and the skimmer. I like to take all the equipment apart and bring it inside for the winter, and that way it gives me a lot of access to make sure that the lines are completely blown out, because I can connect directly to them rather than blowing through the equipment.
I made this tool to blow all the air out of our lines. It is basically a plug that you screw in and you hook it up to the air compressor, pull the trigger, and it blows all the air out of the lines.
Very good. Yeah.
Once you've blown out your skimmer line, it's important also to use a shop vac and get the rest of the water out from inside the skimmer because you don't want that to go down back inside the plumbing. I also put antifreeze inside that. I use some Teflon tape with a piece of equipment called a gizmo. So if any water ends up back in the skimmer, when it freezes, the water expands, alleviate the pressure from cracking your skimmer.
So when you're closing your pool, you can purchase a pool closing kit from your local pool shop. I had these chemicals on hand already, so I didn't actually have to buy the kit. But if you go to the store, they have a whole pile of them in a box, and they come with all 3 chemicals.
The purpose of adding the pool closing kit chemicals is there's an algicide that you add, which prevents algae growth in the pool. There's stain and scale, which prevents staining of your liner. There's an oxidizer as well. So the purpose of that is to oxidize all of the organic materials that are in the pool, and that also helps prevent algae growth.
So this is our winter cover. We bought it this year. It's one of the mesh safety covers. So we actually have to install it from scratch. I'm opening it up to find out what size holes I need to drill in the pool deck so that I can get the right size drill bit.
There's a large variety of winter covers on the market. Last year we used the tarp version, which falls inside the pool and you rest water bags along the pool deck. This year we ended up purchasing a safety cover which goes flat across the pool. It allows water to seep through, so in the spring we won't have to add any water to our pool. All of the snow and rain should fill it back up to where it needs to be. If you'd be interested in seeing a pool opening video in the spring, you can let us know. Feel free to share your process of closing a pool if it's different from ours.
Thank you guys so much for watching. We hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, you can leave them down below, and we will see you in our next video. Bye!